Ready? No. Hello, welcome to Ring Takes, episode 44 here, as we're counting down the road to the Royal Rumble. We can officially say that. Heating up here, we're going to be talking about CM Punk and Randy Orton free agency and Drew McIntyre Night of Destruction, but it seems to be more Nights of Destruction with him. Let's get right into it with CM Punk finally signing. He made the rounds. He went to SmackDown last week, mentioned Roman Reigns by name, made a weekend appearance on NXT. with HBK there on NXT Deadline, and then circled all the way back to Monday Night Raw here in Cleveland, where he officially signs with Raw and has a standoff with Seth Rollins, which was very highly intense. What do you guys think about that? CM Punk signing with Raw and then declaring for the Royal Rumble, and also his interaction with Seth Rollins.
So in analyzing all of Punk's appearances on both from the first promo he cut on Raw to the promo he cut on SmackDown to his surprise
more time.
Yeah. If he had more time, and he made note of it in that SmackDown promo, which he did take a couple of shots, mentioning Paul Heyman, how Paul Heyman was his original wise man, and obviously the SmackDown promo content-wise was the better promo. I did like his surprise appearance at NXT with Shawn Michaels, because it really did seem as though like there was no plan. They literally were just going off the cuff. With Shawn commenting on
just
Punk.
One more FU to AEW.
Just to say, like, yeah, let's take a couple of viewers away from Collision, if there are a lot of viewers away from Collision. Let's bring those eyes over here, which you gotta love competition. But I do love how sporadic that NXT appearance was, and then going into last night's promo. Makes complete sense that he would go to Monday Night Raw, because as we ended up seeing, the one feud that's there waiting for him is the feud with Seth Rollins. And I've been waiting to discuss this promo segment, because I mean, we've been seeing it on social media all day. We've been sharing things in the post. It's pretty much is to say that AEW is failing where WWE is succeeding when it came to CM Punk. I mean, it's a prime example. You take a personal issue between two guys that has money written all over it. You sit the two guys down, tell them, like, there's money to be made here. You guys might not like each other, but you guys both like making money. So therefore, put the BS aside and let's go out. Let's take this and make something of it. And you clearly see that's what Punk and Rollins are doing here. Rollins, kind of mirroring Hangman Page's promo, the promo that kind of started all of Punk's issues in AEW when he said that Rollins is trying to defend WWE from CM Punk, which actually makes more sense in context than it did when Hangman Page was trying to defend AEW. And then you hear Rollins talking about how you were gone for 10 years. You slandered me. You slandered the company. You tried to destroy what we built, which was exactly what Punk was doing, starting with that Colt Cabana podcast all the way until now. Even in AEW with the cheap shots that he took, some of the stuff that he said that hasn't aged well at all. So, and when you look at the whole Punk experiment so far so good. I mean, he's the hottest guy in professional wrestling right now, and no, it's a prime example. It's an example of there's levels to this, and it shows that, like, you can have issues with one another, but you can put the aside and make a profit of it. And like I said, WWE capitalized where AEW didn't, and that's the one thing takeaway I can take away from this whole CM Punk free agency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, it's crazy to see how, like, and I feel like WWE has always done pretty well with taking, like, real life issues and somehow gotten people to, like, literally still work. I mean, like, prime example, look at Edge and Matt Hardy. Like, look how real of a situation that was.
That was real blood feud.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Like, and I mean, there's other stuff, Seth, even admitted like earlier when Cody first came, like they really didn't like each other, but you look what came out of it. It sucks that Cody tore his pec, but look what the hell they did in Hell in a Cell and how much that like elevated both of them. And to think that AEW couldn't do that, and instead, what do? You literally create another show to put this guy on and literally keeping talent away from each other. It's like, how do you not, obviously, in the day and age of wrestling now, there's always stories. And obviously with the whole media scrum thing, it's like, that there's these issues. Why not settle it in the ring? Why not create these matches? Why not create these stories? And, just, people can speculate as much as they want, but, if you take those elements, I mean, you're not going to like everybody you work with, but when you blur those lines, it makes for a good story. And, that's what WWE is doing right now. And Brian touched upon is right. Yeah, because I was watching NXT and there was no reason for Punk to even show up in it.
It was so sporadic. It was just like he was there. And like there was no plan. They were just going off the cuff. Like literally.
Really Punk's gonna go to NXT and train new talent. Like, come on, you're not gonna have that huge of a comeback.
There was an element of HBK in the past not thinking CM Punk was that top guy worthy. So there is that history that they did play on. So I mean, it was sporadic, but at least it worked. At least it made sense for me.
I think it was just to boost up NXT a little bit more. Like
it was.
And Brian like it was definitely also a little bit of a shot. They were like, yeah, you guys got Collision, but we got PLE. Yeah,
you guys got Collision, but we got the guy that.
And let's pump this up by throwing Punk in there and bring him back. So, but to even hint at like, Shawn Michaels maybe this offer about training, like, come on, it was really we really took that into consideration. Like, come on. But the whole thing with Rollins is money. It's a good money and it's a great story. So much animosity between them. From Rollins calling Punk a cancer and telling him to stay away, and then what's the first thing that happens? He comes back, and that's the first. The first interaction is him flipping out, and people have to hold him back. Out of all people, Michael Cole is holding him back.
Michael Cole's been swollen, man.
He's just not working the announce table. He's working the gym too. And it's just like, this is how you create stories. And even though they probably, who knows, we could all have it wrong, and maybe they have some level of respect for each other, but they're like, you know what? Let's settle it in the ring. Let's see what we can actually do. Let's make this magic. Let's make this money. Let's entertain these people. And it looks like it's clearly building up to WrestleMania. And I'm going to say right now, I guarantee Punk's winning the Rumble. That's my prediction.
Hey,
Dan, you know that.
I know we're going to come around.
We're still a month away.
We're still a month away. They're coming lower and lower. They're just coming down. And he knows it. So I'm gonna call it right now. Punk's winning the Rumble.
Hey,
I'll say this much right now. Punk and Cody are going to be in the Final Four.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, they're going to be in the. They're both going to be in the Final Four. That's when it's going to get interesting.
And watch this whole Shinsuke thing. Watch it be something crazy where like he like screws them out of like the Rumble or something.
We're gonna have to be live or something when the Rumble is going on because
we're gonna have
this for months. We've been doing this for months between who's going to win the Rumble.
Like years worth of prediction.
Exactly. So
long-term booking. Long-term.
Yes.
Prime example right here.
Finally see how wrong Dan was this whole time. I told you.
Come on, Triple H, do the right thing. Do what's right. Do what's best for business.
Cody can go wherever he needs to go to finish his story. Because he can and he will.
He probably will. But from the standpoint of CM Punk signing with Raw, it was expected. I think we've all been kind of knocking that him and Seth kind of have this boiling underneath rivalry that's there. There's an animosity between the two. And that was put on full display between the two. CM Punk mentioning how it came full circle from Cleveland, his last match here, walking out of Raw of WWE at that time. Basically circling all the way back around. Hey, I have to come back to here to Monday Night Raw to settle the score, basically. And that was cool from CM Punk just to kind of circle that all around. Adam Pearce making it happen to make him sign with Raw. But I think things, of course, heated up when Seth Rollins came out. Looking at Seth Rollins from that standpoint of I was joking. I was like, Seth Rollins is the face, right? Because technically he's right in everything that he's saying against CM Punk. You were against me. You did try to talk shit about everybody in the back. You did shit on me. You did shit on this company for 10 years. You did try to tear it down from the outside. You did do all those things. So for that to be put on full display, have that there, and have Punk just saying, hey, man, it is what it is, and I'm still going to challenge whoever the champion is once I win the Royal Rumble. Like, that's an underlying story because CM Punk could win the Royal Rumble. He could go to SmackDown. He could challenge whoever he wants. But the definite animosity between these two is definitely money, what we've been talking about. And I can't wait to see what happens. There's so much intrigue and going around. Of course, we're going to be talking about today. And, of course, Drew McIntyre and stuff like that. But there's so much top-level talent right now in WWE, even on Monday Night Raw with just that story alone, the title picture, what's happening. You add CM Punk to the mix, it's just going to get more interesting. And WWE striking all the right irons right now when it's hot. They're hitting their stride right into the Royal Rumble, and that's one of the big 4 pay-per-views, and it seems like they're treating it that way.
It's gonna be an interesting Rumble.
Yeah,
I can't wait, and it's still a month away. It's still a month away. I'm like, damn it!
The time will be here soon.
And apparently, I saw a report on Sportskeeda that apparently that promo segment with Punk and Rollins, there was no producer that was assigned to that.
There was nobody. There was just them.
So that was pretty much was them. That was
free balling, freestyle,
cooperating with one another, and that must mean. Matter of fact, it might not have been. Probably was a cooperation, but Seth Rollins probably was expressing a little bit more of his like personal feelings. Like I don't know about you guys, but when he said "I hate you," I actually felt that.
Easily.
Yeah.
Hey, Seth Rollins has been acting. He's been working on his acting.
True. He's gonna be Marvel now.
He'll be Marvel. But no, just again, there's actual animosity. There's actually some type of hatred between the two, and they're playing it well on TV. And that's what they're supposed to do. You have to be able to capitalize on this. And whatever happens, hey, whatever, if it's a match at WrestleMania, if it's a match at the Royal Rumble, whatever the case, well, that's not going to happen. Punk's entering the Royal Rumble, but whatever happens, if it's a match at the Rumble, if they tag a team across each other, we don't even know what Punk's first match is going to be. We're still a month away from the Rumble. So just looking at it from that standpoint, it's like he has to have a match at some point.
I mean, they announced that he was going to have a match on a live event against Dominic Mysterio at the end of the month. I think initially it was going to be Cody, but then Punk announced that Punk was replacing him. So, so I mean, it's a live event, but I mean,
kudos to the workhorse of WWE this year, Dominic Mysterio.
Hey, you cannot lie.
Main event Dominic Mysterio keeps getting these matches.
And it's headlined more Monday Night Raws than anybody.
He's killing it, man. He's always he's trusted. And that's the one thing you want to be. You want to be trusted, especially if you're a young guy like that. But we're gonna see what happens with CM Punk in this whole. Well, we know where he's going. He's going to Raw. We're gonna see what storylines play out this, especially with Seth Rollins. And it seems like they're gonna have a bunch to. If that matchup is gonna happen, CM Punk has a lot of people that he has to go through. Drew McIntyre. We saw the little segment that they had there where they were announcing
Judgment Day.
Drew McIntyre's going to face Seth Rollins at day 1, January 1st. He ran into the Judgment Day with Damian Priest and all those guys. So it's like he's kind of bumping shoulders with everybody, the main eventers on Raw. And we're going to see how it plays out leading into the Royal Rumble.
Just as a side note, when he ran into Kofi Kingston backstage and he said "You're making me crazy," I just immediately got a flashback to that. I was like, oh yeah, Kofi Kingston did portray that Jamaican gimmick, huh?
Yeah,
it was so long ago. It's like, he was Jamaican at one point.
so long ago.
Yeah, it was so long.
And brought back full circle. And those guys are good buddies, of course, behind the scenes and stuff like that. So for them to actually interact there was kind of cool. So, of course, want to see what happens with CM Punk going forward, and I can't wait. Let's get into the other free agent who's not a free agent anymore. Randy Orton signs with Friday Night SmackDown. We saw